All right, we are back again with another trade recap. Today is August 7th, Thursday, and we're gonna go over Wednesday and Thursday. Um, so Wednesday, right? I was looking at IWM, and what do we have here, right? So we have market open. Is right here. Wait, right here. We have market open here. I was expecting, right? So what I had here is I have my fibs marked out. I had it from this low to this high. Why? Because it's the most recent low and the most recent high. Okay, so I have my fibs marked out. Actually, I think I maybe had it like this, right? So we had a low and a high, and we have market open here. So um, I did take an L my first trade on Wednesday, and I'll show you exactly why. All right, so we had this, right? So we had this range, and I was expecting a dump, a liquidity sweep outside of the range, and then a move higher. Um, I was in profit about 30%, but my greedy ass didn't take it, right? Why? I have no idea. But we had this right here, and I was gonna aim for the high here. This was my entry, and as you can see, I was up about 30% here, right? We had a move higher. This is my CISD here. This is my entry. So we mark your entry, right? Cool. And then we respect our fair value gap. I actually added more contracts here. Um, Obviously, like I said, I told Discord under 220, right? Candle close below 220 or out. We got a candle close below 220 here. I was out. I took a 20% L. I think it was 30% L. But we took our L, whatever, cool. And then what was the problem here, right? For me, I was way too zoomed in. I usually never trade on the 1 minute, right? I kind of get carried away sometimes. I'm looking at the 3 minute and I'm like, okay, well this looks good right here. Let me try to go on and try to snipe on the lower time frame. And then I see, what do we have? Our CISD, we have an inverse, liquidity sweep, everything's there, right? But you go to the higher time frame, right? Say we go to the 10 minute, right? This is why you want to look at the higher time frames. We did, it was a good trade, I'm not gonna lie, but this is all consolidation on the higher time frame. We don't have any inverses, anything, but we did have a candle close above right here at this 10 minute, so I was bullish, you know. But unfortunately, like I said, I did stop out of this trade, but I did end up taking another trade, and it was with the Discord. It was on the 5 minute time frame, and I grabbed 221 calls, hoping to go higher here, and then we went lower, so I went and grabbed some 220 calls, right? And what did I see, right? So we swept this low, right? This was our trade we took, and then stopped out here, and then I waited. We got another setup formed, right? So I ended up taking this with the Discord. Candle closed below, and this ended up going, right? So we did make our loss back and some. So, and then I called it a day there. Um, I think the contracts went. I forget how. I think it wasn't crazy. I'll go back and look in the Discord. I might put a picture on screen. Maybe not. I'm not that cool at editing it. So actually, I could just go ahead and look right now. So this is Wednesday, right? Yeah, so at 10:14 I alerted, right? So that is right here. We had, what do we have, right? We had uh, we had liquidity sweep. So let's mark everything out so you guys can see. We had liquidity sweep here. We swept lows, right, into a relevant zone. What's the relevant zone? We have a higher time frame. Oops. We have a higher time frame fair value gap, right? We have a 30-minute fair value gap. So we swept lows into the fair value gap. If we go back to the 5-minute time frame, we swept lows into this fair value gap, a relevant zone, and we had to move higher, right? Um, I took most of my contracts off at this high. Why? Because we struggled to get above it. I did leave a couple contracts running, and obviously, as you can see, nothing really happened. I did hold them pretty much to the end of the day. I think I did sell them here. Once we broke this high again up here, I sold the rest. Why? Because market closed, and you don't want to hold them too long, which was a great play because it ended up, but that was a little, as you can see, 1 to 2. But we did catch. I caught him at 0.45, which was literally the wick down here. Caught them at 0.45, and they ended up going 120%. They went over $1 a piece, so, or I mean $100 a piece. So yeah, made our loss back from this trade here. That's why it's important to use a stop loss, right? Because, and save your capital for the next trade, because you never know what the market's going to do, right? So what do we have here? We had our liquidity sweep, and then what else do we have, right? We had our inverse fair value gap, right? And then what do we have? We had this candle right here. This is our displacement up, and we had a retrace back into our fair value gap and a move higher. I really wanted to take these highs, but it's okay. The market ended up today opening high and dropping all day. Those were my trades for Wednesday. Let's go over my trade for Thursday today, right? So I traded PLTR, however the fuck you want to say it, PLTR. And what do we have, right? We had a range breakout. We had a 4-hour range breakout. Yes, we had our 4-hour range. So what are we going to do, right? We're going to mark our high. Put our alerts on, right? I didn't really worry about marking this because, I mean, we're bullish. I'm not going to mark that. So what happened, right? We had in the morning, right, we opened up, came higher. What do we do here? This is a bullish flag. Came back, tapped EMAs, tried to go higher again. Came back, tapped EMAs. What happened? Our 5-minute time frame. I was watching 5-minute time frame on this trade, right? What do we have? We have our CISD, and move higher. Literally simple as that. Contracts went. Let me see. Contracts went near 100%. I called it the play out at. Let's see. I called the play out at 8:55. So as you can see, if we go down the 1-minute time frame, if you want to be exact with it, right? 8:55, the exact breakout moment, and yeah, I ended up taking all my contracts here as we were making new highs, right? And yeah, that's my trade for today. Again, this was the 4-hour range breakout. A very good strategy I love to use. It's just really simple, right? Really simple. We just grabbed EMAs, kept moving higher, and then as soon as you break the EMAs right here, you would, if you were still holding, you would be out. Today, I played it safe, and as soon as I trimmed some here at this high. Why, right? Because we have no highs to target. PLTR has just been going up. Sorry, but as you can see, PLTR has just been going up. We don't have anything to target, right? So as contracts were, I trimmed it, I think 35%, 60%, 70%, I was out. That's it. It was about, uh, let's see. For me, it was about 5, 10, 15, about a 15-minute trade, made like 500 bucks. You know, it was a great trade today. I felt great taking it, and yeah. Let's see. One stock I do want to go over real quick, and it's kind of the same thing as Amazon, right? So I missed it. Unfortunately, I had my contracts ready to go and everything, but I was moving like, it's just been moving weird. So um, I kind of had, I don't know, I don't know. But what do we have, right? So I marked my for our inside, right? As you can see, this alert didn't get taken out. This is proof I was ready to get some Apple calls, right? But what happened, right? Our 4-hour range breakout. So as soon as market opened, I had my contracts ready to go, but it was moving so quick. I was kind of a little, I was like, well, it was moving fast as shit. But unfortunately, this was a fire ass trade, and I missed the entire thing. But it's okay, right? Because there's always another trade. But yeah, this one I had FOMO on. I'm not gonna lie. But it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, there's always the next trade, and yeah. So let's see, Plantier. Yeah. So it ended up, when I called out 182.5 calls at 180. We grabbed 183, then 184. Um, this is a great trade. It was easy, fast, IWM, I was watching IWM today. I mean, as you can see, my setup wasn't really formed. We did have something down here, right? So we had our inverse. If we inverse this, but yeah, on these kind of days, I try not to look for an inverse. Why? Because we're just downtrending. I mean, we have this big ass bearish. I mean, if you go like to like 30-minute, right? We have big ass 30-minute for like big ass 30-minute, whatever you want to call that. Like we came in here, we came to this 30-minute drop, this 30-minute fair value gap. As soon as we opened, dropped. The whole market kind of did this little thing today. Grabbing liquidity for sure, So tomorrow, if we can, let's see. So what can we do, right? How can we kind of prepare for tomorrow? So let's get our fibs out. Let's just mark the range for today, right? Let's mark our high and low. So let's mark this. So let's mark the range of the week, basically, right? So we're up here, came down, and now technically we're back in premium to go lower, right? Or you can look at it as we came higher, we're tapping into premium to go, tapping in lower premium to go higher, again lower premium to go higher, right? You can look at it both ways. Let's see on the higher time frame, what do we have? So let's mark I'm gonna mark it. We got our 4-hour inside bar, right? And yeah, we are below EMAs on the 4-hour. Let's go to 1 hour. What do we have? Actually, let's go back to the 4-hour real quick. What do we have, right? Oops. We have a 4-hour fair value gap. we kind of tapped into it, not really. I wouldn't say we did. As we go down to the lower time frame, right, we do have the 1 hour fair value gap. And what did we do, right? We did tap into this 1 hour fair value gap, and we did close above the EMAs on the 1 hour. As we go lower, right, we go lower again, go lower again. A lot of chop day today, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not gonna. We do have a setup form though, right? So what do we have? We have. Let me get rid of the 1 hour fair value gap real quick. So we obviously know we're in a relevant zone that we could possibly reverse at, correct? Okay, cool. This is our 4 hour inside bar again, so we'll keep that there. We'll delete our fibs. So what do we have, right? Our setup is formed. This is a 5-minute time frame. I do take trades on the 5-minute time frame, but that's I trust the 3-minute too, right? I don't like the 1, the 2. It fakes me out all the time. 5-minute, right? So what do we have? We have our inverse, right? And then this would be our momentum, our change in, just think of a change in direction. So this is our last candle before we change directions, right? Really, I mean, really you could mark it here, but to be safe, right, we mark it at this candle. Why? Because this is bearish right here. So if we can clear this bearish gap, we'll probably make a move higher, right? So if you wanted to, you could have taken this trade something like this and swung some contracts for tomorrow, next week. But if we come back below here, 218.76, that would be, your setup would be invalidated. You can even put your stop, if you wanted to get contracts further out, you could put your stop down here, right? But in my opinion, if you come below this, well, no, right? Because look, we have order block. So we have 2 down close candles and 2 up close candles, and these 2 up close candles closed above these 2 down close candles. So that is an order block, so it's valid. So yeah, put your stop loss here, right? We had our liquidity sweep. We just kept sweeping lows slowly but surely today. So that's one confluence. We had liquidity sweep. What else do we have? We had our inverse. That's our second. Our entry. We got our CISD. And this right here, let's see. Okay, so we did move up after hours a little bit, right? But again, this is a large sell-off here, right? So we don't want to expect to just automatically inverse it. But, right, if your setup's there like this, and every chance, what do they say, right? Every shot you don't take, every shot you don't take, you miss, right? Remember that. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all for today's recap. August 6th and the 7th, Wednesday and Thursday, and tomorrow's Friday. So let's have a good day. Again, like, comment, subscribe for some more content. Join Liquidity Lux. It's our Discord. Shout out my boy Memo again, right? My boy Memo. But yeah, besides that, that's gonna be all. I don't think we have any news for tomorrow. Yeah, we don't have any red folder news for tomorrow. So yeah, should have a good day tomorrow. And yeah, appreciate you guys for watching.